HaulEx is a carrier TMS built by a trucking business. It's actually 10 carrier apps in one. The truth is, I've never seen this much reporting functionality in a carrier TMS. You have to check this out. So please say hello in the live chat, share your thoughts, grow your network, and learn from the best on ATI Auto Business. What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to Industry Logistics on ATI Auto Business, where everyone learns more about the automotive industry. We're going to have a HaulEx Carrier TMS live demo. Before we do, I just want to say, I said the same thing. Another Carrier TMS? And then once I saw it, I was like, wow, how do we not know about this? So you want to stick around for our live demo with Paul and Sergey. Hey, Sue, can you see me and hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear and see me?
I can see you. I can hear you. So how are you doing?
Well, I'm still sick, but little irked about some stuff.
Ooh, sick and irked.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds like trouble.
You need to find a picture with me with like horns coming out or something like that. So when
no.
I'm having my raging days, we can put
Well,
on
we have the
picture.
war paint photo we could dig up. Right?
Right.
So,
couple things. Last Thursday when I was sick, we came in, and I don't know when it happened, but we came in and all of our loads were gone off the load board. Don't know why, don't know anything. So we put them back on. Luckily, we knew what they were. Anyways, and later in the day, guess what happened? Our other loads arrived back up onto the load board. So then, as we all know, my biggest pet peeve is that we lose all of our archive listings because I had to archive them, because then they showed double listings. So I lost all of my listings from that. So I'm a little irritated about that because that's still not fixed, and I still don't know why this happened or what happened. And I don't know if any other people had this happen as well. Did anybody say anything to you on last Thursday about anything at all?
No.
Okay.
But that means very little because,
Yeah, gotcha.
lots of people try to tune us out. They watch, they just don't say anything. I hear it through the grapevine.
Yeah.
So,
That's
all
fine.
right. You posted loads. Yeah, I want to stick on this for a second. Your loads are gone, right?
Yep.
Your loads were...
They were loads that we've had on there. It wasn't like, we just put them on that day. They were continuing loads.
You were talking about as a broker.
Yes,
right?
as a broker.
As a broker, you had loads posted on the number one load board.
Yes.
How many are we talking about?
I don't know. Was there...
Five.
I think luckily we had given away almost everything the day before, so I think there was
Okay.
only 5 left on the board.
Okay.
And
Not that, but thank God it was only 5.
yeah, that's what I said. But
still,
thank God we were able to
plenty
remember what they
that's
were.
plenty of nuisance. I mean,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, because I imagine, what if it was a big broker that had 100 loads on there and they disappeared? You know what I mean?
Well,
I can't believe I'm the only one this happened to.
No, you're not. No, that's why we haven't heard anything.
No. So that's the first thing.
So 5 loads posted for dispatch, right?
Right.
Call in, book it.
Right.
And then what? So you come in and they're gone?
Come in and there's nothing on the board. Like, we have no listings whatsoever. So the first thing we do
That
is
happened overnight, something?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know when it happened from the day before even. I mean, we could have just not been getting phone calls and we didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? So there's no, I don't know when it happened. I just know when we came in that morning, we had pulled up the page and we're like, where are our loads? There's no loads. What the hell's going on?
Wow.
And so we relisted them, and I don't remember what time during the day.
So went through and that's what? That posting 5 loads again, that could take a little bit of time.
Yeah, it took me time.
Yeah.
And then also, because on top of it, we have to remember
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
what they were going, all that
the
kind
details,
of stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
And how much we had it posted for and all that good stuff.
Right.
And then sometime later that afternoon, they popped back up.
They popped back up?
Yep.
Yep.
So then what? Now you have to remove what you
Then I had
reposted.
to archive all those other loads that I had put on there, and I lost those loads
So then you
because
lose that. Those go against your
my load
monthly.
count. Yeah, yeah,
Wow, this sucks.
yeah.
And nobody reached out and said, "Hey, here's what happened."
No, I haven't seen anything on Central. I did send a
Did you
text.
contact them?
I did. I sent a text to Blake. Blake was gone last week, so I think he contacted me on Saturday or Sunday. But I've been sick, so I really haven't answered yet, to be honest. But
Dan says I experienced all my saved listings disappear, and from 800 something to 7 listings in my filtered results.
so his listings disappeared too. Then
Dan, do you know what day
it's
and
Thursday morning is when we discovered it.
what ended up? Did they reappear? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next.
Yeah,
What day?
yeah, because maybe we didn't catch it on Wednesday when we were leaving. Maybe it happened on Wednesday afternoon as we were walking out the door. For all I know, I don't know.
What's up, Paul? Paul's going to be on the live demo of HaulEx today. Well, how often does this kind of thing happen?
It's never happened before.
So this one you've never seen before.
No, not this. We when they first switched over, we didn't have access to
Was
list
there
bars.
was there a transition of functionality and software where maybe
There
they
was
had
no,
taken
you know
down?
how
I
they
don't
used
know.
to
I'm
tell
trying to
us that,
figure it
hey, we're going
out.
to do an update and stuff like that. There was nothing like that on Central.
Right, there was no.
No.
Wow.
So I
Well,
don't
that
know what
sucks.
happened. Yeah, it did. It was, yeah, it did suck.
I'm
Pretty
sure it
much.
was all hands on deck. This is, that's you know what the problem is when you go back and after you had the investigation and the committee and the research, it sounds like it wasn't a big deal, but at the time, it
It
was
was a big
probably
deal.
everything.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like I said, us 5 loads is probably minor to what the big brokers had if they disappeared. But here's the weird part though. If that was the case, if it affected everybody, then there would have been no loads on the board. But there were loads on the board. So it couldn't have affected all brokers.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's a good point. And because it didn't affect everybody,
It probably
then there's less chance of there being, well,
everybody's freaking out. Yeah. But yeah,
Well, I'm sorry, that sucks. You
yeah,
know.
it did.
How- Did it didn't affect anything that was already dispatched?
No, we went through and made sure of that because I
That's
was worried
good.
about that
Is
too.
that
Yeah.
how all your drivers are calling?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would suckola.
Yeah. No, we went and
Okay.
checked to make sure everything that we had dispatched the day before was still on there, still accurate, that kind
It's
of.
it's weird that it reappeared. That means somebody was able to like put the switch back up and go, "Oh my
And
god.
yeah, what happened?
I
Yeah.
wonder what happened."
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
That's what I'm saying. It couldn't have happened
Yeah.
to everybody. It only happened,
No.
it had to happen to,
But
I hate to
yeah,
say it, a small
here
amount because there was still, when I looked at the load board, it was like 30,000 loads on the board. So it was not affecting maybe just smaller people. I don't know.
uh-huh. Well, then we
And
have to
even
start
when
building
we,
a
and then I was worried because when we relisted them, we went in each time to see if they were listed too. So yeah, it took us a few hours to confirm and make sure that stuff was okay.
Well, here's what I'm wondering cuz aren't the when you build a load, you build it in the CRM component.
Well, I don't,
I
but
don't know. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, and
I
I'm
mean,
really
that's an
going off the
extra
rails here.
feature.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Right.
just
Oh yeah,
list
of
it.
course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
that may be hey, that could be it. Maybe it didn't affect people that were using the CRM.
Right, that's what I'm getting. I'm trying to
Yeah.
isolate what was
It
the
could be the
problem.
smaller people like me that do not use anything like that, and that's who it affected. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
Maybe a window popped up that said you should be using bats. That's, Eric's like, that's not funny, man. Okay, so that's the loads are gone. What else? Anything else irking you?
Well, okay, remember me talking to you about the company that I told you was a fraudulent company, and sorry. And I said they were going to rook people. Guess what's happening? That's exactly what's happening. So I
They're
talked
going
about
to
that with,
work people.
yeah, they're screwing people over left and right, not paying
Oh.
people.
Oh, they're not
So
paying
2 weeks
people.
ago is when I talked about that company. And that's all it's taken is 2 weeks, and he's gotten, let me tell you how many negatives for non-payment. It was Freight Wagon or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Freight Wagon.
And they're still listing loads because one came up
So
right
they're
on my
still
page.
active, still posting loads.
Yep.
No problem.
Yep.
Sweet. That's awesome.
GHT.
While you're looking that up, I'm going to go ahead and share on today's show.
Oh, I can go ahead.
Wagon freight, wasn't it?
No.
What are we doing today? Let's see. Where's my...
You put it in.
We're going to talk about HaulEx.
Cool.
HaulEx is...
Freight wagon pro.
This is some really interesting stuff. It's a TMS. Some of this we've seen. Some of this we haven't. I know. I like the way this dashboard looks. Okay, I've seen dashboards.
They've been pulled
No.
since yesterday because it was yesterday. I looked them up and they had all these negatives.
The wagon
non-payment.
is down.
Yep, the wagon is down.
Oh, man. Wow.
But it took 2 weeks and 2 weeks of them now getting negatives for non-payment of people. So
right.
my thing is this, and I told them 2 weeks ago. So my thing is this. You and I both know this keeps happening over and over again. So it's got to be a group of people that all work together that do this. How are they getting away with it is what I want.
Right now, so it's like, let's try freight.
Well, they're all different names.
Mario Kart freight.
I mean, I can't remember the one
LLC.
that Alina had one happen to her, and I can't remember the name of her company. But they only last for business for about a month. What I tell you, it was one. He just signed up
120.
120 or something,
Like that.
and he's already off of there because he's not paying people.
Mm-hmm.
So either he shut himself off because he stopped paying people, or Central pulled him off because they had too many complaints. I
wonder if that's like the latest YouTube get rich quick academy is here's how you set up a bullshit brokerage, screw people, and just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just send me $5,000, I'll show you all the tricks.
Well, and see, this is the part I don't understand, is they are paying for the broker bond. The broker bonds have been legit. I think the broker bond company is getting hosed big time.
Well, there's probably a broker bond company. That's part of the
deal.
It
could be.
My
You're
cousin has a broker bond company.
Well, I know that out
How
of
do you like your
that we
burgers?
had happen, we got paid out of 3 from the broker bond company.
Yep.
Before they went belly up. I was going to say something else, but anyways. But yeah. So, but I still, honestly, there's got to be a group of people that are doing this.
You can just call 1-800 forget about it broker bonds.
There you go. That's it. So
that's crazy.
it just sucks that you can't. I mean, you can see that a broker company is on there and it's brand new, but you don't know whether to trust them or not because you don't know. You really don't.
Yeah.
They could be legit. They could be one of these companies.
And you know what's beautiful about all this is all the focus is on vetting the carrier.
Yes. Not vetting the broker.
Nah, forget that. You're a broker.
Yeah. They got a broker bond. No big
deal. Forget about
Forget
the
about
broker
it.
bonds. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah. So something has to be done to make, I don't know, to make this better.
Well, we're going to continue looking at great new software. We got order details, notes, and tasks. And look, a claim center. Have you ever seen a claim center?
I have never seen a claim center.
I'm like, what? Yeah, no, this is crazy. These are just, Paul's like, you're giving away all the good stuff. Driver scheduling, stuff I've never seen. This is cool. I told Paul, I used to sit at my dispatch desk with a Google spreadsheets and try to create something like this to figure out what everybody's doing. And he built, it's amazing. It's called HaulEx. So we're going to learn more about HaulEx today, probably in about another 15 minutes. That's the logo. That's Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, Paul's cool. So get to know your ecosystem, new, used, dealer auction, logistics, and more. Only on ATI. I'm regularly reminded nobody else talks about the whole industry. You can get dealer training out the wazoo, or well, that's mainly most over half of automotive content is like dealer training.
Yeah.
Rah rah rah.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
And I mean, I know, like, we used to look for loads. Most everybody knows how to look for loads.
Oh yeah, now there's more than one channel looking for loads.
Yeah. And I mean,
That's awesome too.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I hate to say this, but looking for loads is not the most important part anymore. It's following up with this kind of crap is to make sure everybody gets paid, unfortunately, and knowing,
Well, that's
knowing
and
who
that's
to haul for.
and that's I guess that'd be the feedback, and that's why it's the full ecosystem. Is that just looking for loads? God, that's the easy part.
Honestly, it is.
I mean, it's no
Looking for
fun.
loads, putting them together to make a load, that's
Oh my
harder.
God.
But calling to get a load is the easiest part of this whole thing.
But Sue, driving the truck is the hard part. Come on.
Well, okay. I'll give them that. I wouldn't want to be on the road driving the truck.
I don't want to do it either.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm
No.
not saying it's hard, but it's not the whole enchilada.
No, it's not.
And ask the dealer. The dealer's like, you drive a truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, well, hey, you hose people over for a living.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that either. Oh my God. There's so much you can't talk about in automotive. It's crazy. And that's why we do it, because we're the neutral zone. Okay. Yeah, I have the show on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. Jay, I hate that part of the night. Industry Logistics is Thursdays at noon. That's where we are now. You are here. Last week, you weren't feeling well, so I talked to Danielle. Did you see any of this? Man, this is...
I have not. Honestly,
you should
I
check
still am
this
sick.
out.
So
Yeah, no,
you're
I
lucky
hear
I'm
you.
here.
Well, look at all the stuff we talked about. Obviously, I had some news, but ways carrier vetting techniques have advanced in the past few years. Yeah, the deep dive, just skip ahead to 35 minutes into how to vet a carrier.
Yeah.
And the deep dive, and it's impressive what they have.
That's what I like. My Carrier Portal. Yes.
My
that's
Carrier
what most
Portal,
of the big
yeah.
ones use. That is exactly what they use.
Really good show. Awesome stuff. And she's great, too. So, lots of great stuff. I mean, I'm impressed, and I liked what I heard and saw. Show me the truck. Let's do some truck.
Oh, hey.
Okay. Yeah. What is this?
This is Biscuit Logistics. He took a run from, what did I tell you it was?
From
It was
Knoxville to
Wilmington, North Carolina. It was 3 vehicles, as you can see. It's $1,200, 300 miles, or 400 miles. 400 miles? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, a little bit under
Yeah.
that. Anyways, $3 a mile. That was pretty good.
$3 a mile. Can this be the load of the week or whatever you want to call it? It's my driver Biscuit Logistics. 2 Suburbans and a Yukon. $1,200, 400 miles. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is a great load. Now, how are we doing weight wise, length wise? Are we pretty full?
Well, yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. He
Yeah.
said, because, I have my special formula that tells me whether things are going to fit or not. And he's like,
we
this
do.
isn't going to fit. And he said, when he got it
That's
on,
tight.
he said, I will never doubt you guys ever again.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that is what a 3 car is looking for.
Yes. You're
A
looking
good
for that money.
full
Yeah.
load. It looks good. It fits. It pays well. Now, how was your? Let's talk about pickup and delivery dispersion.
They all delivered at the same place.
No,
Yeah, it was 2 pickups. They were right next to each other.
2 pickups near each other, and then
Yeah.
1 drop. Wow.
Yeah.
From where to where again?
From Knoxville area to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Great.
And then we went from there to Nashville.
Great. Wow. So Tennessee, South Carolina, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And
He
how
was
long did
running-
that?
That took him, he was there.
Few days, 3 to 4.
No, God, no.
No.
He was
Really?
there yesterday morning.
Yeah.
He picked up
Oh man, that's awesome.
yesterday, or he picked up the morning before.
Guess it's
He finally got loaded, I
700
think,
miles?
about noon. And then he was there the next morning when they opened up at 9.
Wow, that's awesome.
No, it's only 400 miles, so it's not.
Oh, it's only 400 miles?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
like
It said 400 miles.
380.
Man, I'm rusty. I haven't dispatched in years. Dang it. Jeez, Jay. You got too much dealer training on the head. Okay, hey, did you get that dealer memo? I'm just gonna say dealer constantly now. That's what they do. I saw this and I wanted to share it. Top 10 statewide congestion costs.
What does that mean?
Yeah. So, ATRI. Have you heard of ATRI?
Uh-uh.
And it stands for American Transportation Research Institute, I think.
Oh.
Trucking annual congestion costs rise to it's over $100 billion a year. Traffic congestion on the U.S. highways, $100 billion in costs to the trucking industry in 2022. Okay, the overall cost increased by 50% year over year. This cost, this is waste. This waste is equivalent to more than 430,000 commercial truck drivers sitting idle for one work year and an average cost of $7,000 for every registered combination truck. That's crazy money.
It's crazy, but what are we going to do about it?
Exactly.
It is what it is right now, unless we've got flying cars. That's not happening yet. So.
And here's the good news. Your guy just said everybody needs to go back to the office.
Yeah. Oh.
So these numbers will definitely
what's the percentage
go
of
down.
that going to go up, though?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is commercial truck drivers, so, hey.
Well, yeah. Commuters don't affect trucking at all.
No. But that's why I don't understand. Why is that just that and not, like, every driver?
So in here, let's do states. Okay. California, I know, is in the top
down?
3. But Texas is above California? What?
That's got to be because it's bigger. Which is bigger, Texas or California?
Well, let's think of congestion. You got Houston. Houston's nuts.
Yes.
Dallas is nuts.
Yes. But California, good Lord.
Oh, LA is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Have you ever booked a car to deliver in Hollywood?
Yes.
That is the stupidest thing. Oh my God. There is nowhere to park. But when's the last time you booked a load into Manhattan? Exactly.
I don't, but yeah.
Exactly. I probably did once because the driver said, I'll do this,
it.
Or whatever.
Right. And then they do it once and they're like, I'll never do it again.
And that's where he sold his business on the George. He's still on the George Washington Bridge.
Yeah.
This guy says, I got a car dealership and I provide broker services to my clients. At the same time, I coordinate the towing of their cars. How can I make a tow truck driver charge the total amount to the client and then send me the difference? It's a broker fee, right? That's a broker fee?
That's a broker fee, but he's a car dealership. I don't think, you can do whatever you want. We all know that. But I don't think that's fair. This is my thought process on you selling the cars. You're already making money off of selling this car for them. That's why he's a broker service. So as well as I do, he's charging a fee to buy that car for them. So now you want a commission on the transport of it too. I have a problem with that.
Well, I'm trying to honestly, and that's why I want to ask you. I'm trying to figure out, why is he towing a car? Well, he has a dealership and he tows cars. Is that right?
He's
two
not
separate
towing,
services.
Yeah, but he's not towing them himself. He's trying to get a broker fee off of putting it on Central and having the car moved. That's what he's doing.
Well, that's what everybody else does.
Well, that's what I said. Technically there's nothing illegal about it. I just don't think it's right. If you're already making money off these people, then you're making money again off of these people, right?
Well,
He's double.
I don't know if you're right or wrong. I really don't. But at its core, regardless of morality and semantics.
There you go.
As Johnny Cochran once said. See, is that this would be a broker fee.
This would be a broker fee, and if you're gonna do it, At least do it the right way and tell them ahead of time before you actually send them the load, and then
Okay,
go,
there we go.
wham, bam, thank you, man. You need to
Okay,
send me 150
so
bucks. Yeah.
when at the time of the booking,
Yes.
make sure your service provider knows of the broker fee.
Yep.
Now, how do you enforce broker fees? I think that's really the question.
There's no enforcing them.
There is no enforcement.
I mean, you can give them a negative. They're going to give you a negative back in return because they're whatever.
Idiot.
I'm going to be nice and say what I really want to say. But I mean, you have shady companies out there. You have shady transporters. You have shady brokers. It's
So
it's
is the
experience.
answer to make sure that the broker fee is a reasonable percentage?
I would definitely say that. But even my
Right.
$50 broker fees or a $25 broker fee
People
didn't get
ignore 'em.
paid sometimes.
And they're like, it's only $50.
Yeah, they're like, screw it,
You're a
I'll take the
kid?
negative.
Go get a soda. I'm
I
not
mean,
going to give
for
it to the
real.
broker.
And then
Yeah.
when I ask for my $50 broker fee, they act like I'm like the world's worst person for asking for my $50 that they knew about ahead of time.
Yeah.
But oh my God, you're not going to live without. That's what I always get. Oh, it's going to kill you if you don't get your $50. I'm like, well, no, but I've been in business a lot longer than you have been. I guarantee you, I'll still be in business when you're gone.
Or
So
you
here's your
I had-
negative. Ching ching.
scream at it.
So a long time ago, I learned this lesson. I had a guy tell me, I don't write checks that small.
Huh. Okay.
And I thought,
Wow.
thanks.
All right, then
That's
I'll make it
awesome.
$500.
Wow. You sound like a Republican. Okay.
Hey,
See?
everybody.
That's just, no. Okay. I mean,
Oh,
people don't
anyways.
tune in anyways. Who cares?
Anywho.
All right, let's go to the next piece of news. Oh, you can do whatever you want. Of course you can. All right, this is going around. I brought up several times the scam double brokering attempts by blankety blank, freight blank, over the last 6 months, and you still allow them on your safe and vetted platform. I fuzzed out who we're talking about. Fraud prevention, ha 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 ha, clown. I can't wait for your response to this post. It will just be another lame response, I bet. And a guy chimed in, I've reported multiple fraudulent carriers and brokers over the past 6 months, but no response. Either they're ignoring it or the fraud department is the busiest in the U.S. at this point. Crazy how bad actors keep operating.
So they're talking about contacting the FMCSA. Or this
well,
one
yeah. But what they're doing is they're calling out a company whose name we know. And what
figure out who
happens
that
is
is.
you get the mob effect.
Right.
There are, like, people feel a certain way, and finally somebody says, it's this company that I'm mad at. And if they do it enough, other people will be like, yeah, I'm mad at that company too. And the company that I didn't name here claims that they are number one in fraud prevention. They host webinars and on and on and on.
Can I ask a
And
question?
this guy's calling them out, saying that's not happening.
Is this in the auto carrying or freight?
This is in auto logistics and a very well known and trusted and loved and hugs and kisses and dogs and babies.
Whoa.
Wow.
And this guy's calling them out saying, yeah, you know what? That isn't true. And I'm tired of you saying it.
Oh, you're definitely gonna have to tell me who this is when we're done. I guess I have not figured it out unless somebody else has on there.
Well, they recently lost another customer success person there, I think. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, golly, really? Okay, maybe that guy was holding the fort. And this was the one you talked about. That company we talked about said it was a scammer broker not paying. You have proof, and we just learned that they just got shut down, which is why they now need forget about it broker bonds. Hey, do you have room for another carrier?
I do.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, all right, this is it's demo day. You're up on stage. You have 30 seconds. Go.
Okay, well, if you know me, you love me, so we'll just start there. Anyways, um, so Murphy Auto Transport Services, I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm a dispatch and a broker. We find the loads, we verify the loads, we put the loads in pickup and delivery order. We are your office while you are on the road. We also do all of your accounting, and we make sure that you get paid. So, and we also use Super Dispatch for our EBOL system and for accounting and all that good stuff. So I do have a spot. I specialize in 3 cars. and I do not do inside state, and that's considered even just going into the next state over, just so everybody knows. We usually stay out for a week at a time. If you want to stay out longer, that's fine too. You just let me know, and we pretty much work with everybody that has a CDO.
Fantastic. It's fantastic.
Is that fast enough?
That was perfect. It was wonderful. I don't ship cars. I move information. It's ATI Auto Business. Leverage ATI in your business. You can go to atiautobusiness.com. You can contact me. By the way, I just wanted to plug Tuesday night. This is kind of crazy. Tell me what do you think this is about?
Is this really nothing? Ooh, so it's about Carvana.
Okay. Ding. Is it good or bad?
It looks bad to me.
Ding.
Looks like
okay.
money problems to me. It's the way I'm
All
reading
right.
it. Need
Okay.
cash. That's the first thing, and money with a big red sign is the
There we
other
go.
one.
There we go. There we go. Tuesday night. This is kind of cool. Is that so? There's this company here. I'll share the link to it.
Okay.
There's this company, this research business company, whatever, that did this Carvana report. Yes, full disclosure, this is their final report. And some people are like, well, if it's their final report, then can't be right or whatever. You know, it is a really hard thing to go up against the 8,000-pound gorillas, because they will stomp on you.
Yeah.
And there are some that are like, Jay, you're going to get stomped on. And that maybe, but a whistleblower has to blow their whistle. It's just the way the world is. And then gorillas will stomp whistleblowers, and then another one pops up, and and it's whack-a-mole, and life goes on. But eventually somebody takes down Enron. Now, was it their mission in life? I don't know. I don't have I'm not trying to take down any company, but I do know this, and I'm going to talk about it Tuesday. I got a report. That's right. It's right here by my desk. And I've been going through this thing. This is the report from the website. I printed it out. This is insane what's going on at Carvana. Insane. They're not even in the car business anymore as far as I can tell. I don't know what business this is. And what's cool is there's a bunch of dealers that agree. The ones that are brave enough to say something. And because there are people just sucking up. Oh my God, left and right. Wow, the suck-ups in automotive. It's unbelievable. But I got a panel of dealers that are not sucking up, and they're gonna chime in after we go through this report. Again, if it's not true, great. Set the record straight. But I'm reading a report, and then we're going to have a panel of dealers that work in. See, this is part of the problem, is what's happened with these numbers. By the way, anybody remember the housing crisis of 2008? If you lie enough, people lose their homes. People lose their cars. Something really fucking bad happens. Mm-hmm. And that's why this is important. Because it can't, it's unsustainable. It can't continue. All right. We're going to talk about that Tuesday night. So that's the little teaser. That was nice, Jay. All right. Do me a favor. Stick around. Right after this, we're going to be live with Paul and Sergey. Oh, I don't have the graphic. That's fine. They know what they look like. Paul and Sergey will be here from HaulEx. Do me a favor. Stick around. We got a live demo. It's going to be awesome. We'll be right back.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Do you need help moving a load or keeping a carrier loaded? It's Murphy Auto Transport Services here to help you. a professional, fully licensed broker that offers professional dispatch services. MurphyAutoTransportServices.com. And Sue is my co-host. She's here if you have questions. All right, do me a favor. Here we go. Please do help me wish a very warm welcome to Paul and Sergey. Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, we do.
Hey guys.
Awesome.
How are you? How are you, Sue?
Good.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
It's great to have you guys here. Let's do this. We'll start with introductions and then move into... We're just going to talk for a bit. Then we're
Okay.
going to move into demo. We're going to talk a little bit, and then we'll move into demo. But first, Paul, please say hello and tell us a little bit more about you.
Yes, hi guys. My name is Paul. I have been in the shipping game, auto transport game for about 17 years with my brothers and my dad. And we've been kind of growing it since. And we have been slowly building up our software TMS to solve our issues in our own company. And I've come across people like Jay that say, you got to share this to the world out there. So with my good friend and business partner, Serge, we've been able to fix a lot of legit issues in our business. So I'm excited.
Thanks, Paul. It's great to have you here. Sergey,
Absolutely.
please say hello.
Hello, everyone. Good to meet you all. Just a few words about myself. I was just listening to Paul and thinking when I was introduced to the transportation industry, and it's probably in 2006, doing dispatching myself, and then eventually I've been always in the tech world, building stuff, but family's family, you got to help them, right, whenever they need help. So I have done the dispatching, and as far as in the software building industry, and actually probably since 2010 for different industries, but majority is either moving industry or transportation industry. So that's my history.
All right, so you both know the business well. How about who's driven a truck? Okay.
That would be a liability.
Okay. All right, but I'm getting into what you know.
Okay.
You're not just a couple of dudes
Mm-hmm.
that heard about forget about it bail bonds or whatever, right?
Right.
You have long history in this business, and it's important because while we're talking about I think we're talking about a carrier TMS, right? A carrier
Correct.
TMS built by a trucking business.
Mm-hmm. It was legit built by car haulers for car haulers, solving one problem at a time and our own issues in our own company.
See, and I've heard that before. And that's why I pointed out, because somebody's going to say, I know someone's going to think it and say it. Well, Jay, I've already heard that before. All right. But it is true again. Fine if it's true twice. But that's really important because we talk about software built by non-users, right? That's awesome, right? Software built by non-users is always the best.
Well, that's the problem. Everyone builds software in theory. We build software on real issues, one day at a time. And I was a dispatcher, and Serge was in my office. I'm like, Serge, I got this and this issue. I need it fixed. And legit, we were working away one issue at a time, and that's been pretty good to us. We've seen tremendous growth, tremendous organization, tremendous time savings. I mean, left and right. I mean, there's a lot of great products out there, don't get me wrong, but we wanted to do something to fix in our own company because we were using 10 different apps, 10 different Excel sheets, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, nah, we got to do it in an application where everything is in one system.
All right. Well, then here it is. It's 12:40. You want to share your screen and start showing some stuff? I have
Let's
a
do
copy
it.
here. I have your copy, but go ahead and take it away. And
All right. Okay, let's do this.
if you're just joining now, we're doing a live demo of HaulEx Carrier TMS built by car haulers for car haulers. and I think this is going to be pretty interesting.
Okay, just gonna start from the very beginning. So as I mentioned previously, everything we've built, why HaulEx? People always ask, why do I build expensive software? It's really easy. We grew up in a modest family. My dad had 13 kids, 10 daughters, and 3 sons. And at one point, half of us used to work in the business, and a lot of your audience can relate. And at some point we were like 17, 18, 19, 20, and we're like, yo, well, we need to either go full on with the transport business to make it grow, and we got to find a way to streamline it because we were using Google Sheets, Dropboxes, and all that kind of stuff. So we had to do something and fix one issue at a time because it was an unorganized mess. And there we go. That's why we reached out to Sergey. It's a God-given gift, a God-given talent, and started building it out. I'll quickly go show through just from top to bottom. So right here we got the CRM. A lot of brokers have a CRM, but not a lot of carriers do. It's really the backbone of the whole software is where we know every single carrier, every single customer that's shipped every single order, and we actually keep notes of every single. So sometimes a customer, a broker, it could be Ready Auto Transport or any other broker you guys know, they'll put us on a restricted base. They'll suspend us for whatever reason. So we keep all the notes here. It's all clean. It's all organized. We can tag any of our managers and say, hey, can you reach out to this and this company? I mean, it really keeps everything organized. And you have all the data. Your whole book is in one place. It's not saved to your phone. It's not saved to one computer. It's all in here. We can also flag brokers. We can also communicate. So any broker that has non-pay, we can communicate. We can leave tasks. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but this has been a very big help. Then as owners, me and my brothers, we wanted to see a dashboard. We wanted Sergey to build us a dashboard where every single month we could see, instead of waiting for those terrible QuickBook reports where you don't understand anything at any point and any date range, we could see monthly expenses, your top dispatcher revenue. It's funny because in my offices, we have 6 monitor TVs set up, and they all compete because they all get commission. So they all want to be the top dog or the top dispatcher or the top driver for that instance. So it's a competitive world out there. But in one simple glance, we can see how many claims, what the fuel expense was, what the shop expense was, what the driver pay was. I mean, we can make this as detailed as you want it, in whatever date range, whatever truck, whatever driver. I mean, we can go as whatever employee, etc. It's really helped us because we know the health of the company at any point in time. I don't got to call any accountant up or anything like that. Right here, we got the load board. Sergey, do you want to take over the load board?
Yeah, load board. I mean, it would actually take the whole meeting to go just over the load board. It's essential as to any business, especially in transportation, to have one place to glance and manage, orders and scheduling, who needs to go where, and also find stuff. And this is where we have a very extensive filters where you're able to filter whether order was paid, wasn't paid, are we late on pickups, are we late on delivery, are we doing our inspections, and our drivers doing the inspections. So it's really one unique place to be in, to manage all the orders in the company, where you can filter out by dispatcher, where on the management side, lead or supervisor can look into the system and actually check, hey, how are we doing on the trips? Are we loading with good rates? Are we loading? And what's nice about it, they can go and dive deep into like see that data based on the dispatcher from the load board. Let's go next, Paul. On order details, it's really hard, especially with the all the fine details that you guys need to have in the auto moving industry. But at the same time, you don't want the system to be complex for the user to actually use it. It took a lot of engineering, a lot of planning, a lot of testing, a lot of feedback, whether it's from internal use or external use, to actually get a system that's very easy and very clean to use, but at the same time, it's functional. We have a very detailed like task management system within the orders. We have node system where you can schedule notifications on the nodes, so you can tag other people on the nodes, you can hide nodes and keep them internal for specific, let's say for management, if there's issues on specific orders, which is really nice on operational side where you can do it all in one system. You can pull it up by the order and there's no more sticky notes flying around, and papers being shoved around. Everything is in one system. And the next big issue is, Paul, if you want to talk about this.
Order adjustments.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. I remember dispatching my pops. He would always be like, "Hey, Paul, can you call the customer and get $250 extra because he has extra weight inside the car?" And then you'd always have a broken phone system because you call the customer and then the driver would come and he'd never pick up the money, and then he'd be like, "Oh man, shoot, why didn't I pick up the $250 tip?" essentially, right? So what we did on our driver's app was we added adjustments portion, and it never gets lost in the translation. So any adjustment, whether that's an in-app fee, a personal items fee, again, we do 80% of our work, we do POVs, personal owned vehicle relocation. So a lot of these customers decide to put stuff inside the car. And we have an intensive inspection process. I mean, it's just really self-explanatory. It really works. And the money is never hidden because it always is collected. Because a lot of drivers would hide the adjustments and would never report it. But with our system, you can't hide it anymore. Because, yeah. Order splits, this is probably where our business went 5x from here. We have several terminals across the country, and we have about 55 trucks, some plus or minus, sell by every month. But what would happen is we got the long haulers, they would do the coast to coast trips, but they want to come home and rest and they don't want to deliver all the cars. But the BOLs had to be either given to them physically to the local drivers, and it created a big issue. So me and Sergey, the genius that he is, he brought up the idea of creating a split order system, which the local drivers, where we would pick up anywhere from on the East Coast or on the West Coast, that order would be split, for example, from Union, Oregon to Vancouver, Washington, which is our terminal. And the driver would see everything, his portion, the local driver would see his portion, and the long hauler would see his portion. And everything is properly marked, everything is properly preset. You know exactly what to collect, you know exactly what the driver is getting paid. I mean, it's a pretty well thought out system, because I always ask companies, carriers, like, hey, how do you manage 30 or 10 or 15 trucks? They're like, well, we use super dispatch, like we redo a BOL, or we just transfer all the BOLs to the new driver. I'm like, that's a little tough. What about, hey, who made the claim? Which driver made the claim? Well, the split system kind of solved those issues, because now we know every single driver, all of their pictures, everyone takes a part, and the customer sees only the parent stuff. So the customer always sees the beginning and the end. But we see everything from every point of the paper trail. Um, and one other thing that I fell in love with was, this is what I look at every single day, is the trip outlines. Um, we got a lot of trucks, a lot of drivers, and our drivers need to have an effective trip management system. So we built this again from scratch, and we have in our system where the driver, and on his app, he sees the same thing. He sees every single point from first pickup to last pickup. We also, for the owners, we also see, like right here, we have the revenue system, revenue per mile, how much deadhead, where we can get fillers, how much vehicles he's picked up and delivered, whether this trip is complete, if you see the status is complete. This has really improved our bottom line by 20%, making everything visible, making all the stops drag and drop to rearrange order. We can also look at other load boards, put a zip code in, and see if this falls along with our with our route. So it's really just helped us streamline and organize all of our trips, because we do about 100 trips a week. All right. Sir, do you want to go take over the inspection and BOL?
Yes, the inspection part is where, listening about this place, and I'm like, it's amazing. Once you actually been in industry and you understand how tough it is to um, find whose fault was it, like who's crashed the car, and so on. Yeah, and this is where the inspections and the details on the BOL that actually help for the driver to see. They can see the previous. They're able to access and see the previous inspections, the photos, and the mobile inspection. It's a very smooth process for them. And this is in the mobile app. They're able to add the adjustments which is nice that right there, right then, they negotiate the price with the customer. And if they need to add an adjustment, they add an adjustment, then the customer sees everything before they sign the BOL. There is no back and forth after the hand. With inspections, everything is detailed. Not only they can mark the damages, but they can actually take photos, and there's required photos that were required from every inspection. But then there's no limit on how many photos they can actually take and upload. And I don't know, from inspection side, that probably be it. We can go further. Yeah, accounting. That's the stuff that no one wants to touch, but everyone has to, because there's no other way to get paid unless, right, we do accounting and we send bills, we send invoices. And we chose to integrate with QuickBooks. They're leading industry in accounting. Our system works directly with QuickBooks, which allows users to migrate if they're already using QuickBooks and manage everything in one system, which they don't have to create separate roles in QuickBooks, and sometimes even give people access, because everything is managed within our systems, which allows to create invoices, track payments, track payments that the drivers make. They show up in the system here too if they, accept the payments, whether it's cash or check. They select, they accept that payment on the mobile, and it shows up in accounting, and it makes it very easy for the accounting to actually go through all the payments and make sure there's no money left behind and there is no missing payments, and drivers don't walk away with cash, and we are not left behind without getting paid for the invoices.
I'd like to add too, right now we live in a Venmo Cash App reality, and we've integrated our driver's app with Venmo, Cash App, and the drivers now, they don't have to confirm anything. It's all in the app. It's incredible. It's a game changer, because you got PayPal, you got all these machines, and everyone's like, "Oh, hey, did I get paid? Did I get paid?" It's all done through the app, and it's all recorded here, which is, you have no idea how good that feels.
Fleet tracking. There is nothing better for a fleet manager or just a manager to know where the driver is. And this solves a lot of issues where the driver is like, I'm around the corner. I'll be there by the end of 20 minutes. But then you can see in the map where they are. And it really helps from management and actually be more realistic with the customers and produce a better customer service where the drivers could be in check, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing when they're on the road and doing the deliveries. And at the same time, it does really good with route planning. And I know you've seen the trip outline. On the trip outline, the dispatcher, if it's an active trip, they're able to see that information too, which helps the dispatcher plan their future routes and trips. There's a lot of great stuff about the fleet tracking. And it's all in one system, which makes it even better. You want to take over?
Everyone's Yeah, everyone's worst. The thing that the papers that they push away and never want to get to. Um, this is what I hated the most. I hated talking to angry customers. I hated talking to angry dealers, brokers, whatever. But we needed to keep everything in one system because it was email, it was fax, it was Google, it was whatever. We started off with damages. Again, we ship a lot of cars. We ship about 2,500 cars. Some of them get damaged. You got to not only fix the car or report the car to the customer, you also got to pay out an estimate. You also got to deduct from the driver. You also got to report. But we took it a step further, and a claim center can be now a DOT violation. It could be a negligence to the truck. As it could be a traffic incident, it could be an auto accident, it could be a truck accident. So any claim that we have in our system, in our company, goes through here. Violations for drivers, DOT, whatever, you name it, it's all in here. It's really, really a game changer. It was for us. Book now, all our internal. This is actually an important feature. Our internal book now, and what we wanted to do was I told Sergey we wanted to create every carrier to be a broker. I've had a lot of brokers call and say, hey, can we use your system? That's not the vision I have for HaulEx. I want every carrier to become a broker. And that's really important because carriers in this time and age, they need to leverage all of their capabilities and service their customers. I know we've talked about this, Jay, but they really don't have a way to service their customers if it's not on their truck. And then you end up losing the customer because you went with someone $5 cheaper. HaulEx offers a carrier to. I encourage everyone to become a broker too. I encourage every carrier friend to become a broker, and we are allowed to do that and book trips and book orders. Serge, you want to do this?
Project management, task management. That's we came across with an issue where there's a lot of things, whether it's within the claims, whether it's within the order, or any other issues on the trips, things that you need to follow up on, things you need to work on after the order has been delivered, whether it's an issue or so we had to build a task or project management system where you can manage whether it's just an order or you need to follow up on a specific contact or a customer, or you need to manage payments, receive payments. There's a specific processes that all of us have that are built. And with the HaulEx system, it automates those processes where it eliminates the issue of someone saying, hey, I forgot this, because now they have a task for everything they need to do. And it's easier to track for the management. It's easier to track for the owners and say, hey, why wasn't this done? There is no excuse, I forgot, because you have a task system. It shows you the due dates and the timelines, which is nice where you can manage and schedule like future issues or tasks that needs to be worked on. Driver scheduling. This is an amazing, all of our tools and all the features of HaulEx, they were built because we were dealing with those issues. they were dealt because step by step we were building the software. Every time we would solve one issue, we would see an inefficiency or very costly tasks that were still running in the company that were not seen before because there was so much clutter and so much stuff without a centralized system. They were not easy to see them or spot them. Once we start clearing the bigger stuff out, now we dive into like smaller details that took a lot of time. And driver scheduling is something um, that solves the issue where the driver from their mobile phone, they actually can request, hey, I want to be working specific number of days this month. These are the days I want to be off. And it allows the dispatcher, the driver have a one unique united system where they both know what's on their schedule, and the company knows their capacity and, hey, what's going on and what do we have scheduled for this upcoming month. HR and onboarding, it's a system again built with HaulEx, within the HaulEx where um, you constantly run your hiring, whether it's drivers, dispatchers, or any other people within the company. Is now we're, instead of storing that stuff in Excels and spreadsheet and Word documents, we're like, hey, we
Or your
already have
personal
HaulEx.
phone.
Yeah, or your personal phone. And we built that in the HaulEx. So now uh, every carrier, they have an access to a form that they can put on their website, and they collect hiring. They just put like looking for, how any company has a job section. They put the form in, it comes in into HaulEx, and it gives one central place for them to manage the hiring process.
My brother, who used to hire drivers, he'd have a phone list, and I'd be like, "Hey, did I call you 3 months ago? Is this is this the same Dan I called 3 months ago?" So I'm like, you can't be doing that because now we got about 60 drivers. We gotta do that. And the other cool part is you have all the notes on your drivers, even if they're active, what their percentage pay is, what their files, their permits, their birthdays, everything personal and everything professional that's required for the job is in the driver profile, which is, again, another big issue we had, another big issue we fixed. We also had a big issue with shop and equipment servicing. Drivers would come into our shop with fax requests, with text messages, with calling, "Hey, I need this fixed, I need this fixed, I need this fixed." And service techs would fix this, but forget about this. They would fix that, but forget about this. When a warranty part needed to be requested or returned, no one could find that file. It's all in our system now. It's all under the unit number, the driver. Some scheduled routines are automatically recreated. If a mechanic doesn't fix a particular thing, he moves it to the next time the driver comes. I mean, this is really streamlined all of our shopping. If HaulEx is worth anything, it's because of this feature right now. We've really fixed. Drivers report a damage or something that needs to be serviced on the truck inside their app. It gets directly sent to this is a load board for the shop guys, really. Whatever needs to happen, through our system, he can assign a mechanic, a particular one who knows how to fix whatever the issue is. And every mechanic already knows what to do. They don't have to wait for the shop leader to come in every single morning and be like, "Oh, I got to do this, and I got to tell him to do this." So it's really helped. And then reports. We want to know every single driver, every single dispatcher, and we've had all the reports we've made in the system. Especially like this one, we want to know how late or how on time we are for either pickups or deliveries, and who the drivers are. Is there an issue with the driver? Is there an issue with the company? But I mean, we got reports on anything you can possibly think of. So again, solving an issue, allowing you to really understand where the system's at. Employee user management. Every single thing about any equipment piece or any person is in here. It's all here. Every single medical card, CDL, license picture, registration, everything about anything is in there. It's the DNA of the company. It's the DNA of the equipment. It's really helped us organize. Well, we've previously given out credit cards to all of our drivers, but now they all report the expenses through the app, and one of our gals approves or not approves expenses. Everything is in here. It's really pretty cool. What we're working on next is customer application. Customers are used to Ubers and Turos, and they want to get a quote through the app. And I know I've been fighting Serge about this because he doesn't think customers will download the app just for one shipment, but it's what they expect now. And we've been working on this. I know I have personally, because a lot of my customers want to see everything. No one wants to email and text anymore. It's, hey, if I can get a quote, if I can see the status, if I can see tracking, cool. You know, we're releasing a new driver's app for better stability and a lot more things. There's one actually cool feature on the driver's app where it's called a leaderboard, and all of our drivers they compete with each other, first place, second place, third place. It's done in some statistics, and I mean that's all they do is they talk because they got nothing to do while they drive. So they talk about who is a leaderboard, and it helps drive up obviously revenue. It helps kind of keep trash talk alive and well. But I mean that's something we're doing. I want to touch base. Go ahead,
Something that I
Serge.
want to add, Paul. I'm sorry if you can go back to ports just really quick. What I want to say, it's a saying that we've been always, it's like a status quo for HaulEx almost. It's if you can't measure, you can't improve, or you can't improve what you can't measure. And this is for any business. A lot of times right now with all the data being in one central system, you can run reports based on the shop. How expensive is the truck on repairs? You can look how much revenue the truck is bringing, and you can make strategic decisions for the business, whether we should keep this unit or we should, retire it, sell it, and buy a new unit. See, same thing you can do with the drivers. You can look at their performance, you can see at their schedules, you can see how much revenue are they bringing to the company, and how many claims does the driver have, how many unsatisfied customers feedbacks we got right from customers. It makes for a business to be very efficient because now you have measurement, you have a tool that allows you to measure your health status of your business on all aspects, whether it's employment, equipment, and your overall financial goals. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I was talking to Jay previously when we were doing this. When I say it was built by car haulers for car haulers, it's dead on. It's funny because I have drivers coming into my office and they're saying, Paul, you're so stupid. You need to sell your company and just focus on your software. I'm like, listen, if I start focusing to every single vertical, I lose focus on my customer. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you are my customer. My drivers are my customer. I see any pain point, I see anything, and I fix it. We see any problem, we go to the drawing board and we work at it to fix it. I actually never intended to sell this software, or I still probably have no intentions because it's a competitive advantage. But I mean, we've had conversations with Serge about, hey, you never know where it could take off and actually be a valuable asset to a company. So I'm like, well, look, it's our competitive advantage, but if the risk is worth the return, let's try it. Let's give it a shot, because the last thing I want to do is worry about building other people's businesses. I got mine to worry about. And I mean, like we talked about this whole thing, every single problem we had, we went back to the drawing board and we fixed it. And 8 years in the making, maybe 9 years in the making, it's something I can work from Dubai, baby, on my laptop, which everybody wants to dream about, working from their laptop wherever they want. From drivers to dispatchers to the shop guys, I mean, obviously you can't fix the truck from a laptop, but you know what I mean. The owners can see all the reports. They can see everything, and it's great. It's amazing. You know, it's just literally another brain for our business, and it holds everything together. But yeah, my focus and my customer is my driver, and it'll always be that. And I'll never sell my company. You know what I mean? It's just I love it.
That was an awesome demo. And
Thank you.
I took some notes while you're doing it. Yeah, and really, I think for anybody that watches is a long demo, but there's a lot there, and you really moved. It was really, really good. Really, I'm gonna give you another applause. That was awesome, and it proves what I said. I said at the beginning of the show, and I said it in the the marketing of this show, that you have not seen this TMS.
No.
No,
Right?
we never
It's
have.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What you've built, and it's hard.
Yeah, well,
So it's hard to believe that here we are. We are in 2025, and you just showed something I've never seen in this industry. I've never seen that.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I've been blessed enough with my brothers to bootstrap it. We have no investors. It's our own thing. And we never needed investors because we wanted to always build it our way. And again, I never really cared about sharing it to anybody. People always call me stupid for that. Whatever, I don't care. I want to build it my way. And, if the conversations allow it to, hey, we can potentially sell it, why not? If it actually fixes an issue, I'm like, don't buy my system. I always tell Serge, I don't want carriers to buy it. I'm not ever going to convince anyone to buy it if it doesn't solve an issue. If it doesn't automate your systems, don't buy it. Don't. I know it's helped us 10x our business, and I would recommend it to anybody. But if it doesn't, I don't want you to spend an extra dime. Trucking is expensive. Operations is expensive. I'm not here to try to make money. We make enough money. God is good, all the time. He's good all the time. But if you guys are interested, if other carriers are interested, please. But I'm only in the business of solving issues and solving problems. And I know trucking is very difficult. If you guys are experiencing the same issues that we are, please reach out. If we make a great system for you and your company, hey, awesome.
That's so. I'll ask this: what do you think is the sweet spot of the type of company that could get the most out of HaulEx? Right? How many trucks? How many drivers? How many years in business? That kind of thing.
Probably 10 to 30. We got about 55 or 60
10 to 30
trucks.
trucks.
Yeah, that's the sweet spot.
Okay.
If I know there's a lot of carriers that, move cars from central dispatch and all those customers, all those load boards. They have 5, 8, 10 trucks. You can do it with one truck, right? But this is a system built for a large quantity of orders. It's a whole brain.
A growing small to medium sized business. If you have 5 trucks, from what I've seen, if you have 5 trucks, you're probably in the beginning stages of needing a system like this.
Yeah.
Because when you're managing your HR, your expenses, and the order splitting. Anyways, it's just that, yeah.
We have carriers with one truck, and we have carriers with 30 trucks. We have 60. Again, I haven't ever advertised. You were my first show, so thank you for the opportunity. I was hesitant, but I'm super grateful. And
you never know, didn't it? It really did.
You never know.
Yeah.
This risk may take us somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna pat us all on the back here for a second, because while you were giving the demo, I was thinking a few things. One is, I have years, actually it's decades of experience of putting together live shows. And so when you approached me, we did kind of a rehearsal, took a look at things, but in the film world we call that blocking. When you're on set, you don't do the whole scene, but you hit your marks, you say some words, you don't give all the emotion, you don't do everything. but you understand it's a blocking rehearsal, and this is kind of the structure that we're going for. So we did that. We also did some talk about, hey, this is the stuff that, wow, this is what's really impressive. This is the really good stuff. And so you followed through on what, you said you were going to do. The slides were amazing. Look how much work that was, right? Who did the slides?
Our team.
Yeah, your team. And I guarantee that was a lot of time. Then you had to put them in order. Then you had to think about what you're going to say. I mean, a lot went into the production to make this happen, and it happened.
Yeah,
Jay, I agree with you. It's a lot to put them all together, but when you live and breathe the software every single day, it's like second nature, you know what I mean? And when you were talking about the size of the carriers and like who will best benefit from the software, I think with some people, they value their time and they say, look, even if I have one single truck and I can save 20 hours a month, it's worth this much for me, right? So, and it's when it comes to a bigger size carriers, it's almost when I talk to carriers that don't have a system that they use in place, they use one thing for accounting, another for dispatching, another system for hiring, and other system to follow processes. And I'm like, I can't imagine how you guys run day-to-day businesses. And someone's job, day-to-day job, is a nightmare, because they can't find orders, they can't find dispatches. And when it comes to them, when they look at the system and they're like, wow, they're like, do we need to fire 50% of the staff? I'm like, no, this is the way I always look at it. I was like, it's a wrong approach of thinking. You just, when the computers came, it's not like we're out of jobs. I think there's just more intellectual jobs that are already being created. So same thing when the system comes in the company and you already have good people working for you that you want to be continue working with you, you just shift them to be more productive and produce more revenue to your company.
Well, what I was thinking when you showed the project task management, the Monday.com and the stickies, I started thinking, and this is where, because everything's AI. Well, rather than replacing people, because I don't think that's what's going to happen immediately. Toolboxes didn't replace mechanics; they just made them better. So as the AI helps identify tasks, you won't have to manually create that sticky. AI will add it to your project task management board, and maybe even help you accomplish some of the stickies that are rather mundane.
That's right.
And now the AI can make that phone call, because I was just talking to a company. We're going to do an AI show in a few weeks. I'm going to talk to AI live. Yeah.
Let's go. That's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's planning, rehearsal, blocking. We have to do a lot of work to get there, but the AI is doing some of the mundane tasks that, and I hate to say it, a dispatcher does. But it's not everything. The AI is not serving the full finished enchilada. It's adding the cheese, maybe laying the tortilla on the paper, right? And this is actually how it's going to look like with AI and fast food. But I can't wait to see what you do with AI as you start to add it.
Yeah, that's something we've been talking to, and actually integrating the AI. And Jay, and this is what's amazing. This is what I always tell Paul, is like once you have the data and you feed the data to AI, it can make a very smart intellectual decisions where it can tell you, hey, this is what's very efficient in your business and this is what's not. But if you don't have the data, you won't be scanning papers, you won't be scanning bill of ladings, you won't be giving it access to QuickBooks and so on. So this is, it is exciting. We have been working with AI and doing some implementations, but it's still in the works. The data, the AI, and this is where I believe is like when the internet came, no one thought about Amazon. You press a button and a day your product shows up. So the internet was the infrastructure to build great companies, to build great product. So same thing with AI. It's what I believe is its infrastructure to bring, good product to the consumer, which was impossible to think about 20, 30 years ago.
Well, and true story, I remember driving around Hollywood in about 1999, and people were making fun of Amazon on the radio.
Oh, what?
They were having a good time. Oh, Jeff Bezos is crazy. Mr. Book and his garage guy. That is so funny.
And now he's laughing at him.
Oh, man. On a yacht that's parked in the hot tub of one of his other yachts.
Right?
True.
I mean, he's
Crazy.
He's one happy guy.
Well, and just since we're on that, what I find interesting is if you look at the tails of, you got Jeff Bezos, and then you've got Elon Musk, right? Two super billionaire geniuses, whatever, innovators, on totally different trajectories of how they're handling and managing their success. So that's fascinating too.
And then
which one would you rather? I'll take the Jeff Bezos chilling on my yacht on a yacht. That's what.
And then you got Mark Zuckerberg looking at places he doesn't need to.
Mark Zuckerberg is in his next chapter reinvention. He's doing the Madonna. Yeah, he's going Madonna, right? He already did Borderline, right? Now he's got to reinvent.
Oh yeah,
and this time it's going to be tough.
Good for him.
Yeah,
he's doing the whole UFC thing, so it's exciting to see.
Good for him. I agree with you. Good for him. And Jake Paul proved that you can actually do this. You can turn from a random YouTuber into a friggin' boxer.
And make a lot of money, yeah, for sure.
You see, Jay, but what all unites these people is that they stick to the stuff they had and they saw the potential in. You know what I mean? It was hard for them. Like, if we talk about moments, how many times we were building the product and it's bootstrapping and the industry, you know how it is industry. Half of a year was great, then all of a sudden it drops in. But I'm like, we have a team of developers, we have, a software we were building, and it wasn't easy. But we were always, sticking to it. And I'm like, Paul, it's well worth it, because I see the pain it's solving. If you solve an issue for yourself, and this is how you build the best and the greatest product. If you solve an issue that you have, there's other people that have exactly the same issue, and especially if it's an industry specific.
The long game and the stick-to-itiveness. And there's a lot of slogans out there, but I don't know. I think the people sharing like slogans, even though they may not actually practice it. And they're hoping to, maybe. But, there must have been a moment where Bob Dylan sat in a room by himself playing his songs, and everyone's like, your songs blow. And he's like, nope, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I'm just going to keep on making songs that you hate. And here we are. I don't know, man. It is amazing. The long game, the belief in oneself and the loving of one's product.
It was a difficult journey, but worthy of one. I always like to remind Serge, you created one big monster. We have too much information. So you got too much data on everything. And I'm like, give me the simple breakdown.
I'm glad that you got this in now, right? Mm-hmm. Because now you can continue to grow. So I'm excited to see what next steps there are and can be. I know Sue is working. I know we're almost done with the show. Sue, did you have anything you want to ask them before we let them go?
I want it.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I don't even know that many drivers, but I want that.
What if somebody wants it? How do they get it? What do they do?
They can call me. You can go to HaulEx.com.
Okay, I've got it.
And there's a carrier sign up. Yeah, HAULEX, HaulEx, hauling experts. Your car hauling experts. That's how we created the name. HaulEx.com, and there's a carrier sign up list.
And they won't help you at all.
So you go to HaulEx.com, right?
Is there somewhere you go? Started.
Do I scroll down?
You can scroll up.
Scroll up, okay.
and just press get started.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So just sign up a carrier interest list, and then we'll talk to you. Again, I'm only interested in working with you if I solve issues, you know. My time's expensive, so is yours, you know. We want to make sure that this software fixes a lot of issues for you and saves you a lot of time, and it's valuable to you.
So let's say let's say I just want to see it. Are you going to contact me right away?
Yes.
But maybe what if I'm not a trucking company and I just want to see it? What I'm getting at is, are you checking to see if I'm a potential customer before you set up a meeting?
We'll do it. We'll verify you for sure.
Right. Okay. That's what I'm at. And, you know, here's the thing is, I'm going to say it because that's what I do. Half of the people that are going to come and contact you are probably either competitors, they're researching, whatever. Are they going to get a meeting with you right away?
No.
Probably not. And that's the right thing to do because your competitors wouldn't want to be researched.
Yeah.
Right off the get-go too. So, listen, if you're a 5+ or 10 to 15 truck company and you are, what are you doing right now? Let's say you don't have a system like this. What are you doing right now? You got stickies all over your desk. You got spreadsheets.
Google Sheets.
Right? You're asking your drivers when the last time they hauled for you, right? If that's you,
got BO.
I think we.
Yeah,
you know what? We're writing the commercial right now.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do that.
The best one is the BOLs with the coffee stains on it. Coming into the office. Never get tired of those.
All right, so we're gonna write down what your business looks like. Let's work on that. That'll be our next phase. If this is what your business looks like right now, you need this. It's called HaulEx. Go to haulex.com and fix your trucking business.
Built by car haulers for car haulers, baby.
Right on. Paul.
It's
Sergey. Go ahead and finish that sentence. It's
a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
To do business. I'm telling you, like, once people see this and they realize, they know, like, every time we had someone to bring on board or someone who's interested in the product, every time they start using it, and we always start with the phases of like, hey, this is the stuff you need to know about the system to get started, but there's more to come. There's more to come.
Oh, yeah, we can tell you guys are builders. So, all right, well, Paul, Sergey, thank you so much. This was awesome. Great job, guys.
Praise God. Thank you.
Right,
thanks for the opportunity.
You guys take care.
Thank you for the time. You guys take care.
Thank you so much. All right, that was amazing.
That's
and,
awesome.
you know, like, so one could ask me, Jay, are you really excited about this, or you just happen to, be on camera again?
Hi, Philip. My name is Janet. I'm with Biscuit Logistics.
What do you think the answer is?
I think you're really excited about it.
I am excited about it. Yeah, I really. If hit this applause button, my thumb's gonna.
That shit's
Listen.
awesome.
That is crazy. It is crazy. Here's my biggest concern. My biggest concern is all the competition is gonna
All of a sudden go.
right and just swoop in and start tearing this thing apart. Now. But is that reality? I don't know if that's reality. They have so much functionality. I think there's at least one company that can send the developer team to the other side of the enterprise and start working on this stuff
and it does
right
run
now.
And drive?
But
okay.
I don't know if they
I'll send my
will.
driver that way,
And even if they
all you
do,
need.
I don't know if they'll be successful
Thank you.
in letting people know all the things that they can do
It runs and
with
drives.
this updated
Parking
version.
Storage, that's just like,
So, and that's actually what I'm also excited about. I'm excited that a platform like ATI is powerful enough to help a company like HaulEx begin to launch their ship. I feel like ATI did a lot for Auto Hauler Exchange, and I'm always looking for companies to work with that I feel like I can make a difference. I'm always telling some companies that I don't know what you're waiting for,
As soon as you-
But if you're still waiting, I'll go to camera one. If you're still waiting, I don't know.
Come right over
I'm tired of saying, "What are you waiting for?" You're probably tired of hearing it. So, we'll just move on. Everybody we'll just continue to move on. That's what life is. Life is about moving on, and we'll just continue to move on in life. So we'll do that. And let's see here. Speaking of moving on in life, what do we got next week? Oh my God.
What?
We have some more software next week.
Do we really?
Yeah. Wow. That's hard to believe. So it's called Dispatch Minds.
Wow.
And this is actually, it's not HaulEx. It's different.
Really?
And we're going to look at Dispatch Minds. Yeah. This is so cool, man. Dispatch Minds next Thursday. And this is going to be a great show. So please do join us for that. Also, if you want to learn about the Carvana Nothing Burger, it's a nothing burger. You know? That can't be painful. And isn't when you hear, let's talk about nothing burgers for a second. When you hear nothing burger, doesn't that really mean it's a something burger that some defense attorney has tried to convince you is a nothing burger? You know, like what did Casey Anthony do again? Remember when she was in the news? Everything was Casey Anthony, this and that. That's a nothing burger. It's a nothing burger. Or like January 6th, 1,400 people rioted? Nothing burger. It's a nothing burger. Or Hunter Biden's laptop. See? I'm fair and balanced. Hunter Biden's laptop. Nothing burger. Sure, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a total nothing burger. So stick around Tuesday night as we talk about more nothing burgers. It's nothing. All right, that was awesome. Do you have any final thoughts?
Hang on, let me look at my driver at the same time.
Right.
No, I think that, yeah, well, he's asking me. That these other companies have some competition in place. A lot. Like that's offering so much on such a different level than what we deal with. I can't even explain, right? I'm not wrong, right? There's no such thing as HR. There's no such, a lot of that's just not, and that's brilliant too, though.
Brilliant.
It really is.
I know.
These are smart guys, for real.
It really makes you it makes you wonder here's what's cool. So the project task management, the sticky notes, did you catch that one?
Yeah, that was cool too. Yeah.
There are programs like Trello and Monday.com, and they do that stuff.
Uh-huh.
So these guys said, well,
Why
it
can't
should
we
just be in the TMS.
Right. Just do it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or like the driver management. There are programs that have driver phone number,
Right.
driver email.
But not what their pay is, how long they've worked there.
Not their profile, not their profile.
No. Probably everything is in there. Like when they're due for their med exam, if they've got that, they've got everything.
And it's not. Here's the other thing. This gets into the GUI. Okay, coders love the user interface. Okay, the UX. It's not just a Commodore 64 notepad of words.
Right.
It's a user interface.
Yeah.
That's usable. That's fast. It's intuitive. Freaking.
Yeah.
I think Steve Jobs would like it.
Yeah. Oh.
Who's your engineer?
Well, hey, if Amazon's going to start shipping cars, maybe they should get in contact with
Oh, man. That's
Bang, bang. There you go.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
That's right. So, yeah. Whoa.
There you go, Paul.
Mic
Get
drop.
a hold of Amazon.
Mic drop. Get a hold of Jeff Bezos in the yacht. That was awesome. Great show.
Yeah.
I hope you feel even better next week, and keep those
one more thing.
You do? You got
Yeah.
one more? Okay, great.
So I thought Freight Wagon was pulled off of here. They're not. A load just popped up on the screen. I don't know why it wouldn't come up earlier, but they're still on here.
Killer. The wagon is back.
Yeah, because I mean the negatives that he has now
Brought to you by Forget About It, Bail Bonds.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 negatives for non-payment.
You know, and in
Oh.
what amount of time?
Here's one of the this is one of the negatives. This company posted the cars for a higher price than what their client gave them, and when we arrived to make the delivery, the client did not want to pay because it was a higher price. When we checked with the client, we saw the client was given a different company. They worked with 2 different companies. They are scammers. Exactly what I said was happening.
Wow, when
So
was
they're
that?
stealing the loads off of Central under another name, then posting them. I still can't figure out where they're making their money at, though.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, that's the part I'm trying.
How
to
are they
figure out.
collecting the money?
It doesn't make sense. How are they collecting the money?
Because the dealer, let's say the dealer's the delivery, the customer, the one that had the load originally, the car
Yeah.
gets delivered.
Yeah, and they pay them COD. But see, they're not supposed to be paying them COD. So this is the thing I think they're doing. The only reason why ours came out as COD because the guy said I didn't do this. This is COD. So what I think this is how I think it's going down. They pull the load, they put it post on for more money, but they bill out the load to the actual customer for the right amount of money, steal that money, then never pay that actual transporter that actually did it. So that's how they're making their money.
Okay.
Right,
Tried to look
right.
it up, and it
So
was-
who was the shipper, the one that paid the bill, the
Yeah.
one that they billed?
Yeah.
Who was the shipper, you think, in the scenario?
Well, that's the question. It's got to be somebody working in conjunction, don't you think, with these brokers that are claiming these loads and then flipping them around.
So they must have identified a type of shipper that's not going to know what really happened,
Right.
other than the car got delivered.
Right. They're probably picking out, I would say, bigger dealerships because they just expect you to pull in, drop off the cars, and go away, right? Very, very rarely do dealerships pay you COD. So I could see how they could do it. Whoever company that they booked it through, they bill them out for the proper amount. They never did the load. They get that money. Then the company that actually did it for more money never gets paid.
Do you think that the wagon hacked the information, or was it a techno hack,
I don't
or
think
was
it's a
it just
hack.
a social engineering use
Well,
of the info?
just reading from this review, it can't be a hack. It says they posted the cars for a higher price than what their client gave them. So what I'm thinking, like I said, is they've got a transporter that's pulling these cars, then they're going back and relisting them for more money as a fake load to get them picked up right away. That's why they're getting picked up right away. They're paying $1 a mile. That's not what they got them for. You know what I'm saying? So then they're moving them. It says when we checked with the client, we saw the client was given a different company.
And
So,
so
The
the
client
shipper,
is the shipper. The dealer.
shipper still got the car moved, so they're
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, and they don't know. They don't care. They're like, oh, you dropped off my
Now,
car. Thanks.
and it's after the fact, so the insurance company's not going to find out that there was
Nope.
a right. 'Cause
yeah, unless
nothing
somebody
happened.
damaged something. Right.
Right.
Yeah. It's only
This
makes
is where the
sense.
problem. This is where the problem will then snowball into a problem. Is if
Yeah.
there's a damage claim.
Yeah, that's when they probably get shut down faster than anything else because that's when it's going to get found
But
out.
until that time,
They're gonna
fraud
keep
away,
doing it.
right?
Did you
Fraud's
see that?
away.
They told one person that due to the fire in California, payment will be postponed.
Did you hear that?
Doing a track.
One of these says,
Wow,
due to the
yeah.
fire in California, payment will be postponed.
You know,
We were told.
one of the this is where humanity really hits the bottom of the barrel is when
Yeah.
we use catastrophes to scam people. I saw a image that a guy, random dude, got a yellow shirt and had a stencil spray paint of LAFD, LA Fire Department, made a fake LA Fire Department shirt and
Wow.
went to go loot. And the
Wow.
police caught him. It probably works for Freight Wagon.
Something does, for sure.
I mean, wow. This is amazing. What a scam.
Crazy. Totally crazy.
Well,
they've got a load on there right now, just so everybody knows, out of Georgia. Don't take it.
what kind of car is it?
Let me see here. It may already be gone.
The
It was a 3-pack. They're always 3-packs and stuff. They're packs.
Three.
They're not-
Ooh.
Yeah.
So they've identified a
Run.
a good lure. All right,
Mm-hmm.
you got 3 packs. What's the average? Like do they always overpay?
Yeah, they always overpay. That's why I always say if it's too good to be
Wow.
true, it's probably too good to be true. But
Have you ever called them? Have you ever tried to book a load? We should try to book a load.
We did. That's how I found out.
Well, okay. Did you? So, all right. Let me ask you this. Jeez, Jay. All right. Did you talk to them, or did you text them?
No, I told you they would only
It was a
text.
text.
It's a texter. That's
Okay. It was a text only.
it. Mm-hmm.
Do they do in the reference ID? Not our load. Call Billy Bob, or
No,
do
it
they?
just says call this number. Well, text this number is what they.
Okay. Text this number. Is it in the reference ID? Text this number.
Yeah. Well, it's to the side, I believe. Well, let me go in here. Let's see.
So what should happen? Should there be a notice? Should they be shut down?
They
What
should shut down.
happen? Shut them down.
And I think that this should pertain to whether they're a scam company or not. If they start getting negatives for non-payment, there's a problem. It needs to be handled immediately, not 30 days from now. You know what I'm saying? Because first off, it just makes it snowball into more and more people they end up owing. And then on top of it, those people at the very, if there was a broker bond and it's legit and they're getting paid on that $25,000, I think that's what it is, right? 25,000. If you're on that very last end, good luck. You're not seeing any of that money. Plus, there's got to be a breaking point because they never collected 25,000 on the broker bond. They only collect, you only pay a fee. They don't actually put money in an account anymore like they used to back in the day, where money was actually sitting there for something to happen. You're paying an insurance claim to have that much insurance. And so these insurance companies are paying out a pocket on all these brokers that are doing this scam.
So, okay.
Up to 25,000.
Between what you said and between what that other guy earlier said about the fraud lovers, fraud haters, or whatever.
Yeah.
So we know of at least 2 companies that have load boards where there are legit known fraudsters that are continuing to do business and scam car haulers. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. There's something going on.
And they're just getting, and there seems to be no stoppage.
No. It's and like
That's
I said, it's
wild.
they have to. Everybody has to know. Whoever's doing this, everybody has to know each other. Let's put it that way. It's too.
And well, it's really
what I mean?
hard to, it's hard to peer into the, what do they call it, remote? Do you know what remote viewing is? You ever heard of that?
I have, I believe.
So the FBI and the CIA has looked into this stuff, and
Where they look through your TV.
I mean,
Is that what you're talking about?
so remote viewing is the concept. There was a movie, of something that they might be goats.
Yeah.
They can move goats. It's the idea that you can peer into the ether or whatever, and move your mind into the vision and mind of somebody else.
Of somebody else. Okay.
So that you can project reality. I know it's pretty weird. Everyone's leaving, but my point is this: is that that's the analogy of the ability to peer into the minds of the scammer community thought process. It's nearly impossible to think how they think, because you would have had to have spent years with. You think of like the guy that planned the Twin Tower bombing, Khalid, whatever. Like you what you're missing out on is years of kind of deviant. Deviant's not the right word, but we're not anywhere near skilled enough for the jujitsu of fraudsters happening on these load boards. And that's actually why you have to, it's kind of like with border and immigration right now. I mean, you have to get rough with the spigot because it is out of control. And just kind of like oh, well, we'll give you 120 days of defrauding carriers, and then we'll turn you off, and then you change your name, and then you come back, and then we give you another 120 days. I mean, is there even a number of days? Are the fraudsters even worried?
I don't think so.
Nah.
No, they're just doing them back to
Yeah,
back.
no.
I mean,
Wagging away, man. Oh my
Irritating.
God. That's crazy. Wow. Well, there'll be a consequence eventually. We just don't know what it is. I don't know if I can remote view that far. But I'm going to try. All right, Sue. The audience is dying. They're like, oh, let us go. All right, so anything else?
no, I'm sending it. I'm giving them a negative feedback right now.
Heck yeah. Because it matters this much.
Yeah. I can only hope that it might stop somebody from still taking loads from
Right.
this douchebag. That's all I can say.
The fraudsters are like,
Yeah,
did you see this?
yeah.
She sent me a negative.
I pulled up their address. It's a hotel.
Their address is a hotel.
Awesome. Oh, man. Oh, good one, Janice. That was awesome.
The Black
Yeah, it is.
Suite and Conference Center.
And you wonder how. Oh my gosh! Wow, fraudsters are just—they're miles ahead on this.
Well, and you know what? This what sucks about all this is these people can go back and give all of us negatives, and those will stay, even though they're going to be gone off of here. As far as I know, they used to pull when a company went off of here, that negative or whatever rating you got went bye-bye. I don't think that works like that anymore. I think these negatives stay on whether they are out of business or not.
You just made me think of like pickpockets. When you go to Bourbon Street, you know there are pickpockets.
Pickpockets everywhere, yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
We have pickpockets on the load boards.
Pretty much.
And they're fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is
Awesome.
crazy shit.
That's awesome. All right, what do we say, office?
Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Go away. Get out of here. I'll see you next week.
All right. No, not next week, right?
Oh, wait.
The
Wait,
13th, you said we weren't doing a show, right?
Oh, that's 2 weeks.
Okay, all right, sorry.
I'll see
All right,
you.
we'll
Yeah.
see you next week.
No show in 2 weeks. I'll see you next week.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
Goodbye, Sue.
Bye. Take care. Later.